America's outlaw biker scene is far more than leather jackets and roaring engines. It's a world built on fear, violence, and organized crime. From the Mongols' 1,500-member empire in Southern California to the Hells Angels' global network of 3,000 riders across 27 countries, these gangs aren't just clubs. They're criminal organizations with billion-dollar drug operations, deadly territorial wars, and a willingness to spill blood for power. The Outlaws, Pagans, Sons of Silence, Gypsy Jokers, and Bandidos each command respect through ruthless violence, strategic alliances, and long-standing criminal influence. From coordinated shootings and kidnappings to bomb plots and international drug trafficking, these 7 gangs prove that America's open roads hide some of the deadliest brotherhoods on the planet. 1. The Mongols, brutality elevated to an art form. This is where the story takes a sharp turn into darkness. The Mongols Motorcycle Club wasn't created out of brotherhood, it was born out of rejection. In 1969, 15 Hispanic Vietnam veterans were denied entry into the Hells Angels because of their ethnicity. Instead of backing down, they built their own brotherhood in Montebello, California, and that decision would reshape the entire outlaw biker world. Today, the Mongols have grown into a powerhouse with around 1,500 members worldwide, including nearly 800 locked into their Southern California base. The ATF doesn't sugarcoat anything when it comes to this club. They openly rank the Mongols as the most violent motorcycle gang in the United States. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. Their motto, respect few, fear none, isn't just a slogan, it's the rules they live by. The Mongols have pushed meth, cocaine, and heroin, staged gas station shootouts, launched coordinated strikes on rivals, and built a criminal network that stretches far beyond American borders. Their violence isn't random, it's strategic, territorial, and meant to send a message loud enough for everyone to hear. 2. The Hells Angels, the kingpins of the outlaw world. If the Mongols are the street-level fighters, the Hells Angels are the untouchable kings. They're the oldest, the largest, and arguably the most dangerous outlaw motorcycle gang on Earth. With around 3,000 members spread across 200 chapters in 27 countries, the Hells Angels aren't just a club. They're a global brand built on fear, influence, and firepower. The FBI estimates their drug operations, primarily methamphetamine, pull in close to $1 billion every year. That's not small-time cash. It's money that buys influence, corrupts officials, and funds highly organized criminal networks. They're at odds with almost every major gang, the Mongols, Outlaws, Pagans, and Sons of Silence. But their organizational discipline and readiness to spill blood keep them firmly at the top. The 2002 Laughlin River Run shootout at Harrah's Casino, where 3 died and dozens were wounded, showed just how deadly these biker wars have become.
3. The Outlaws, the Old Guard. Long before Vietnam veterans returned home looking for brotherhood, and before the modern biker scene exploded, there were the Outlaws. Formed in the 1930s in the Midwest, this crew predates almost every other club we're talking about. They're the grandfathers of the outlaw motorcycle world, and they've held their ground through decades of calculated violence and strict territorial control. The Outlaws operate mainly in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, but their influence stretches far beyond the heartland. They've been tied to everything from meth production to outright murder. What makes them truly dangerous isn't just their crimes, it's their longevity. Unlike flash-in-the-pan gangs, the Outlaws have maintained power through careful alliances with other major clubs and a structure that has survived federal investigations, undercover operations, and even internal purges. 5. The Pagans, the East Coast Nightmare. Head to the East Coast and you'll find the Pagans Motorcycle Club, a mid-Atlantic powerhouse that has earned a reputation as one of law enforcement's toughest headaches. Founded in Maryland, the Pagans now dominate the criminal underworld from New Jersey down to Florida, and their brutality rivals anyone on this list. The Pagans don't just sell drugs, they manufacture them on a massive scale. They've forged connections with organized crime families in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New York, and New Jersey. But what truly sets them apart is their use of violence as a business tool. In 2010, 19 members were arrested for plotting to kill Hells Angels members using homemade hand grenades. And in 2018, a raid on a Rhode Island clubhouse uncovered military-grade weapons, including a rocket launcher. These aren't weekend bikers, they're a full-blown criminal force, and they make sure everyone knows it. 6. The Sons of Silence, the Silent Killers. The Sons of Silence may be one of the smaller clubs on this list, with only 250 to 275 members, but what they lack in numbers, they more than make up for in firepower and ruthlessness. Based in Colorado, this crew has a reputation for stockpiling weapons and explosives that would rival a small militia. In the late 1990s, the FBI and ATF launched major operations against them, confiscating automatic rifles, pipe bombs, and grenades. The Sons of Silence have been linked to murders across state lines, suspicious house fires, and brutal turf wars. They once allied with the Hells Angels for protection, but eventually became targets themselves, a stark reminder that in the outlaw biker world, today's ally can quickly become tomorrow's enemy.
6. The Gypsy Jokers, the Pacific Northwest's lethal reputation. On the West Coast, the Gypsy Jokers have built one of the deadliest reputations in the biker world. Based in the Pacific Northwest, this gang gained international infamy for violence so extreme it led to federal RICO indictments and life sentences.
In 2015, two members, Mark Denklau and Chad Erickson, were convicted of kidnapping, torturing, and murdering a former club member. Court records show they shot nails through his boots, carved an X into his body, and even knocked out his teeth. These weren't impulsive crimes, they were calculated acts designed to enforce the club's hierarchy and maintain control. In the Gypsy Jokers, your rank and respect directly reflect how willing you are to wield violence, and few are more ruthless at it than this gang. 7. The Bandidos, the global threat. Rounding out the list are the Bandidos, a gang that grew from a regional outfit into a full-blown international criminal enterprise. With roughly 800 to 1,000 members across 93 chapters in 16 U.S. states, the Bandidos have expanded their reach into South America, Europe, and Asia. They move drugs, weapons, and money with the precision of a Fortune 500 company, except their shareholders are armed men ready to enforce the rules with violence. The Bandidos are heavily involved in meth distribution, cocaine trafficking, and weapons smuggling. Over the years, they've carried out murders in parking lots, orchestrated bombings, and used brutal force to claim new territory. In 2015, federal authorities unsealed a massive RICO indictment against 14 members for racketeering, murder, robbery, and arson, showing that even a gang this powerful remains under constant legal pressure. The bottom line? These 7 gangs aren't just motorcycle clubs. They're some of the most organized, violent, and dangerous criminal enterprises in the country. They don't ride for freedom or rebellion. They operate like businesses, fueled by fear, violence, and drugs. Federal law enforcement estimates that outlaw motorcycle gangs generate billions of dollars in illegal revenue each year. The human toll, however, is far greater. Lives ruined, families shattered, and communities left in fear. On the open road, the line between freedom and crime can be as narrow as a single motorcycle lane. These gangs made their choice long ago. They swapped the thrill of the ride for prison walls, Brotherhood for bloodshed, and the roar of the engine for the echoes of violence.